when you're lonely, can just reach out and on.
No, I'll be there. I'll help you weather the storm.
Us together, nothing's ever felt more like home.
No, I'll be there.
You will never be alone.
Seeker mine out. Whoa. Oh, I'm stuck.
Bandidos! Welcome to another live stream. We got a good show for you tonight. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's just make sure I'm coming in loud and clear. So if somebody can give me a hashtag TuxLive, I'd appreciate that. Otherwise, hang tight for just a second as I change the gameplay footage so we can do our special walkthrough. Appreciate you guys hanging tight. I am running just a little bit late here on my end, thanks to computer encoding times. Give me a hashtag TuxLive if I'm coming in loud and clear. I'd appreciate that. There you go. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate that. Beatco in the house. Anthony DeMar. What's up, brother? Hope you guys are all good. So I have a timer kicking us off here. Thanks for the hashtag, Sam. Appreciate that. Kicking us off here because this is going to be somewhat of a tutorial walkthrough. It's going to be pretty efficient. So I did District Union Arena using this new build that you see right there in the corner, and we are calling it the Furious Mop. You can guess what primary weapon it's using, but I did the District Union Arena solo in about an hour. I ran it several times for the footage so I can get some really good footage for you. And so the gameplay we're about to watch is a single playthrough session. So there's minimal editing. I only cut out like the in-between fight scenes, you know, kind of the jog over between checkpoint to checkpoint. So, but otherwise it's unedited footage. So you will see the entire fight, not just highlights. Because the point is, the point of this is I want to show you how to use this build to solo legendary if you're there. Even if you're not there, like even if you don't do solo legendaries, this is still going to be really helpful because it'll help you with your overall legendary strategy. Not to mention how to use this build. So the Furious Mop is a new secret build, file number 281. If you guys don't know, I have a members only playlist on my YouTube channel that houses all these builds after they're launched. So if you didn't know that's there, go check that out. I should drop a link here for you. What's up, Xander? Welcome. And to make sure you guys have it. So I will have plenty of time for your questions. So make sure you guys drop them. But I will also be walking you through the gameplay and like what I'm doing so that you can translate into how you guys play. Okay, so again, this is District Union Arena, this is on Legendary, and this is solo. Okay, so first off, just like doesn't matter what build you use, you can die quickly, right? So these two dumpsters here are where you want to start off your solo legendary and district union. These two dumpsters are the best cover in the game. The only thing that goes beyond these two dumpsters, the only thing that can flank you are the tanks. So they're your primary target. But my point is the first few seconds of the battle, like let's just say the first 30 seconds, are the most intense. Your highest chance of getting hit by a grenade is in the first 30 seconds. From there, the grenaders get fairly occupied. Just keep your eye on them and make sure you're not in the line of fire. But they should be taking the aggro. The turrets and drones should be taking aggro to your grenaders, from your grenaders. So they're launching. So the grenaders are launching grenades at the turret and not me. So that allows me to free roam a little bit. And you want to constantly be moving. That makes the enemies makes it harder for the enemies to target you. So I do flank to the right, and then all the enemies will either converge to the right or offset to the left, and then I'll move to the left. You see, so I can go in left to right. And what's really important is I don't let anybody behind me. All right, so especially the grenaders and tanks, because they can reach you from long distances. So, well, anybody really can. But so that's important. I'm always moving. With this build, you can have a lot of confidence because with one kill you can get 45% of your armor back. And again, I'm not going to walk you through the full build, but I will give you that we are playing off of the memento. So any build that leverages the memento backpack is basically going to be godly, right? So I mean, the backpack short-term buffs from the memento is basically the strongest thing out there. Put your skills on basically overdrive, right? Overcharge. So really, really strong. So anyways, I'm keeping these guys from getting too far behind me. So I push forward, I fall back, I push forward, I fall back, but I'm always flanking. Anyways, your first targets should be your technicians. So those guys that like that red guy I'm shooting at right now, and their tanks. But the technicians are more important than the tanks because the technicians will just repair the tanks. So, but if you have a tank and you can kill really fast, then do that. But I try to go for the elite technician first, or the elite engineer first, whatever you want to call them, and then work my way down the ladder from there, and then take out their tanks. And then after that, I go for the golden grenadier, the elite grenadier, and I try not to kill the purple grenadier until last. Now this actually didn't go as smooth as I usually run it, so it ended up being a little bit more chaotic because a couple of these guys were hiding in the back and I had to chase them down. But I get myself in a pickle because I should have been waiting. You should be waiting for that helicopter to drop. And so that's why the first wave is the hardest, because it's all about these drone ladies. But notice my time to kill and my armor on kill is what keeps me alive. I was almost dead there. I had two rushers shotgunning me in the face, and I out damaged them. I outshot them. So anyways, we face tanked against two rushers and we won, one of those being an elite. So really good build, that armor on kill. And those skills, you got to remember, are getting that armor on kill for you as well. So they're out there getting kills for you and pumping up your armor. And so when your skills get a kill, you're getting 35% armor on kill. When you get a kill with your shotgun, you're getting 45% armor on kill. That's the difference. But you're happy with whatever, because you're always healing, basically. And really, you're getting more, right? You're getting an extra 20% armor on kill from the memento trophies because of the bonus armor. And we're snagging those trophies. We're constantly grabbing them. So we really are taking advantage of that bonus armor and those short-term buffs. And it's going to make your shotgun feel super powerful, as well as your skills, of course. The shotgun feels good. It feels really good. It probably feels, a little on the weaker side, for the first minute or so until you grab a trophy or two, but it doesn't take very many. The deal is you want to be in range. You want to be within 15 meters when you're shotgunning guys. But either way, you want to always be proccing in sync, so just make sure you're doing that. But again, guys, this is the hardest part of the whole thing, the first wave. And I think it's like that for most of the legendaries. It's usually probably like 2 or 3 difficult sections per legendary. But the opening section is the big one. It's the test. If you don't make it by the opening checkpoint, you're not going to make it through the whole thing. Look at this double kill right here. Boom, boom, double kill. Anyways, look at that armor, guys. We're sitting pretty. We got this last guy. I cleared this in about 5 minutes, which is not a record time, but I could have done it faster, but I wasn't really trying to speed run this thing. That wasn't really my objective. So anyways, that's how you do that. Pretty easy, pretty hard. You know, with the Chungas, they're not the most difficult thing, just so you know. It's just mostly making sure you're in good position with them. But we are running some protection from elites. That really helps us with those Chunga stingers. That's why I have it, because we will be playing nice and tight against those Chungas. So those stingers, we want to be able to take some of those stingers while we get the kill. So, okay, so this is the second checkpoint. There's nothing super magical here. For me, my goal is to not have to fall back into the hallway. So, you know, this front part, I kind of just charge at them. I throw my turret behind them as much as possible. That distracts them, and then just kind of mow them down. This is more of a patience game. I'm gonna try to kill as many as you can. Take out those healing stations as fast as you can. There's inevitably a guy that always tries to rush all the way back, but from here, it's just pick them off. This guy doesn't want to die at first, but he eventually does. So the difference now is I'm now loaded up in those memento trophies, where when we started, obviously in the first checkpoint, we didn't have any. So remember, those memento trophies are when we have our full stacks. We now have 30% skill efficiency. So that's why you don't need skill haste or skill duration on your build. I mean, you can if you want to, but that's one of the reasons why I selected to use my mod space for protection from elites, because I just really didn't need the haste or duration, because we have all that efficiency from the trophies. So you just have to be a little patient when you first start out, because you don't have any trophies, of course, but that comes. Either way, worst case scenario, you only have a 20-second cooldown on any one of your skills, so that's not that big of a deal. And because we have the DPS, it works out. On the secondary weapon, I am using the Police M4 for range. And both of these, when you check out the build, you should pay attention to the mods. It's kind of a big deal how the mods are. It's not your typical crit situation. The mods are set up differently for success, since we're running and gunning. This is definitely a run and gun build. Now, I don't pursue these guys too much, because if I do, I'll set off the next wave, if you're not familiar with that. So do you see those? There's basically where I threw my turret. If you cross that threshold, it's gonna set off the next wave, and you don't want to do that too early, especially when you have medics on the field, because they will get up anybody you killed, and it just makes the battle a nightmare. So it really irritates me when somebody sets it off too early. So basically, I can't cross this threshold. That's basically the limit I can go. See those two blue tall container boxes on the right hand side? Basically, when before the Chungas come, you want to throw your turret right there, and by doing that, they're gonna turn their backs to you, and you can kill them faster. So it's easier to shoot them when they're not shooting at you. See, so that's right where I threw my turret, if you notice. Now, what's important, all of that, I don't know if you paid attention to that, but the whole deal there was skill management. So I just managed my skills. I picked up my skill, and I didn't kill that guy until my skill cooldown was all the way through. That's skill management, and that's a very big part of succeeding solo legendary, is managing your skills. You do not want your skills to be on cooldown when these guys are rushing at you, because if so, you're not gonna be able to get very many shots out. Now, blind firing from back here kind of sucks for some reason. That cover doesn't make it easy to blind fire, so you do want to true fire here. But for me, what's important is holding your ground. Now, a big indicator on whether you can hold your ground or not is whether that healing station drops. You know, and one of them does get their healing stations down at the last minute, which is unfortunate. Otherwise, I would have done this a lot faster. And I did do this a lot faster in previous runs, but in this particular gameplay, I didn't. So that purple guy's dropping his healing station. If you can prevent that from happening, it's gonna go a lot easier for you. But either way, I was able to complete this without falling back. And what I mean by falling back is heading back into the tunnel. Also, when you want to make sure you have full armor before, full ammo before these Chungas come at you. So if you have to load up on ammo, do that in that before the initial first wave is wiped out, because you don't want to be fighting these guys and run out of ammo, then you're gonna end up falling back. If you have to fall back, do it. It's not a big deal. But for me, my goal is to not fall back. It's a big indicator on whether I have, it's an important test. These are tests, guys. It lets me know how the rest of the legendary is gonna go for me. If I can clear these guys without falling back while they're standing in their fucking heels, by the way, which is not an easy task, then I know that this build has the DPS to get this whole legendary done in an aggressive playstyle. So I do not have a problem face tanking this guy, to be honest with you. Sometimes I forget how good the build is as I'm playing, so I'm playing behind cover more than I should, but I could have face tanked that guy just then and just wiped him out. So I have to remind myself sometimes, like, oh, that's right, this build can do that. You know, I don't have to hide behind cover. So one of the things is we're not running glass cannon, but we do have amplified damage. So this build is structured with the linked laser pointer so that we can activate spotter on our chest. So that's giving us 50% amp damage to our skills and our primary weapon. So, but that's why it's important to focus fire when you can, but you are running around a lot, so it's not always possible. But look at me collect my trophies. That gives me the confidence to finish this guy off out in the open, so I don't have to sit there and wait behind cover. Guys, once again, feel free to ask questions if you have them, but I appreciate you listening to me just go off about this. So in the next checkpoint, I threw out my turret first, so that's gonna collect the aggro and allow me to shoot freely without taking the force of that turret there. And you wanna take out the rushers first. There'll be 3 of them, 1 elite, 2 reds, whatever you call those guys, non-elites. So this is pretty easy. You don't wanna get tagged by the snipers. I have them busy with my drone, and then I slowly press on them. My objective here, okay, so this is pretty easy. Otherwise, just clear them out as you go forward. The biggest trick is just taking out those 3 rushers in the beginning, and then from there it's just not getting tagged by the snipers. Otherwise, my big objective is to make it all the way to the back, very, very, very back in this first round before the next wave. So remember, I say how to be successful in legendary, you want to know your spawns and your kill priorities. And so if I kill that last guy, it's gonna activate the next spawn. I don't want to do that until I'm in position. So this is the best position for me. I like this part. It makes this whole thing go faster and easier without taking grenades and whatnot. So it sort of catches them in surprise, gets them right. I'm spawn killing them basically. And just keep in mind that when it kicks off, they come out of that glass room to my right, which is now behind me. And they can shoot through the glass, so can you. You can shoot through that glass. So stay in cover when it first starts out. As they exit that room, they will try to shoot you through that glass. But it's actually easier back here, the whole thing. So as you can see, that keeps them on the heels. They basically retreat. That guy around that corner can't get a shot at me, and that's an elite grenadier. So it's really good that he can't, because he's the one that usually gets a grenade off. If there's anybody that gets a grenade off, it's that guy. He's actually your priority out of the set. He wants to shoot at me right here. I pull in on him though, and he won't end up being a problem. Otherwise, finishing him off, make sure you have your turret on the guys that are your biggest threats, like the drone ladies. When there's a turret out and they're shooting at the turret, they're not launching drones at you. I'm sorry, the drone. When you have their drone on them, they're not sending drones at you. Otherwise, this goes pretty smooth. Not too difficult, but anyways, I think the trick to that is getting to these hospital beds and parking it there. And you don't want the turret, also, just a quick tip, you don't want that turret right on your head. That means, because they're shooting at the turret. The turret's taking aggro. So if you put the turret right over you, notice I put it like 10 feet out. If you put the turret right over you, they're gonna be launching grenades and drones at you, and you're gonna take some of that splash damage. So actually try never to put the drone right over your head. Always try to put it like within arm's reach, you know, like 5 to 10 feet out. Close, but not too close. You want it to be far enough to take aggro, take grenades, take drones, but not damage you while it's taking damage. So this next part is pretty self-explanatory. You just have 2 dogs. It is possible to die here. That has happened to me once. I got hit by a perfect mortar from that one dog. So I just kind of kick it off. I let my skills do most of the work, but once they're fully distracted, I start hounding them with my primary weapon. Anyways, have you guys all had a chance to check out this build yet? It's pretty cool. The video for it, build video, is pretty short. It's about a 10-minute video. I do some highlight reels to show you how it plays, and then basically focus 50% of that video on the build itself. But it is going to be, I will say, it is not that easy. I mean, the weapons are easy to get. You know, the mop, I just have a mop, and then I have in sync on the mop, and then the police M4, really good at police M4. I put in sync on that as well. And so that allows you to freely switch between the weapons without using all your buffs, because it only takes one bullet to get your buffs back. So that's pretty easy. So that part of the build is easy, but you know, this is with that 45% armor on kill and 6 skill tiers. It's gonna take some farming to get some of this. The most difficult part is it is running system corruption on it, and system corruption is a dark zone exclusive gear set. That's the words I'm looking for. So the thing is, that's not easy to farm. So with this build, and what I explained in the build video, is I'm sort of just making do with what I have, and it works. I got it to work. But yeah, so system corruption you have to get from the dark zone. The only other way you can get it is through season legacy caches. So which you basically get through events, like the global events, which we're all out of. So we're probably gonna get some more in December, mid-December, around December 15th. We'll get more events, but so you can farm those. But even then, the odds aren't that great. You'll probably get like 4 out of 20 caches. I mean, so you open caches, 4 of them will contain system corruption gear, so the odds aren't that great. So it's sort of gonna be one of the more difficult things to farm. Just like the y'all gear farm, if you guys saw the y'all gear farm video stream I posted up, I think that was that Tuesday morning? Can't remember now. Might have been Monday, but no, I think it was Tuesday actually. Yeah. So I showed you how to get unlimited y'all gear without going into the DZ, and this is a limited time. So you can get unlimited y'all gear without going to the DZ, but you can only do that this week because the stars have aligned. So check out that live stream if you haven't. It's posted on my channel. But I guess my point is that when you see system corruption for sale in one of the DZ vendors, buy as much of it as you can, even if it's junk, because you want the components so that you can craft it. You can't craft system corruption if you have enough components. Same thing with going into the DZ. Even if you get a piece and it's crap, extract it and then deconstruct it in the at the White House or whatever, so that you can get the components and craft system corruption gear and farm it that way as you need to. So yeah, so with this phase, it's, you know, there's not too many secrets there. I think, you know, when opening this little fight, what's really important is that you take out the drone ladies, and they're actually not that big of a deal here. They get pretty distracted pretty easily, and I think that's because the space isn't that big for them to retreat to. Like in the beginning, they just have a lot of room to run around and hide, and in this one they don't, so it's pretty easy for them to get aggroed by the turret and the drone. So not that big of a problem, but those are your priority targets. Otherwise, in the second wave, once you clear out the first wave, then you have the 2 dogs. And so before the 2 dogs were dead, I repositioned my turret. So you want to make sure, again, this is about skill management. All of this is, okay? Solo Legendary is about skill management. I made sure my skills weren't on a cooldown when these guys came out. That would have been a disaster. So I repositioned my turret to where it is, which you can see it was pointing at the spawn door, and then it makes them retreat, puts them on their heels the whole time. And from there, I just kind of finish them off one at a time. But your targets here are really that guy, this purple guy. I missed him right out of the door. He ran pretty fast and escaped, but you want to try to keep him from dropping his heal station, because when he does, it just kind of makes everything a little bit slower. Not that big of a deal if he does though. We'll just finish him off right here. And then otherwise, the second most important target is the sniper, because she can one-tap you. So that's who's out right now, but she's taking aggro for my drone, so we'll just finish her off. And that's it. pretty easy. This one's pretty easy. So you can fight the whole thing from the back there where I just picked up my turret. You can fight the whole thing from back there. So if you don't want to play as aggressive as I am, then that's where you fight from. But with this shotgun build, it sort of pays off actually. And I think when you're doing solo legendary, you want to play a little bit more aggressive, because I find the more aggressive you play in solo legendary, actually the more it pays off. It's sort of less risky. And the reason why is you want to try to get as many of them at the close to the spawn door as possible, even if you don't kill them all. If you can just put down a lot of damage, it makes them easier to kill as they spread out. Anyways, I paused it here real quick because I didn't know if you guys caught. Let me finish this off right. Go back just a little bit. Okay, let's go back to taking out the sniper. So I'm gonna take out the sniper, and what I want you to notice is this this special ammo crate that I pick up. That's really important. It's a little pro tip for you guys, especially when you're soloing legendary, but also for group. So these are shock bullets, really powerful. Okay, and I'm gonna pick them up here in a second. But those shock bullets can help you to the next 2 to 3 rooms. So I put them on my shotgun. Okay, so think about which weapon you want to put them on, and you're gonna use them carefully. So here I'm gonna try not to use them because I want to use them for the next room. So I'm gonna save as many as possible. And as you can see, what did it give me? 28 rounds, I think is what that says, right? 38 rounds. I got 38 rounds. So I'm switching to my police M4. I'm gonna kill these guys with this so that I can conserve those shock rounds. I will use 1 or 2 maybe. Yeah, I use 1 here. So she doesn't get too much of a rush on me because she got that grenade off. So yeah. Shot. But luckily he's distracted. So he did destroy my turret there. But I'm pretty confident I can kill him without redeploying my turret. So my turret's cool down. Again, I got a lot of skill efficiency going here. So shock him once or twice. I waste a round there, but finish him off. I'm not too worried. He's so distracted by my drone. You can play out of cover. So that's why the drone is really important. The drone is basically your shield. Sam says, RNGesus for the chest piece. Running it with glass cannon at the moment, only heroic. I was also actually looking for a glass cannon one. But yeah, this is the way you want to go. You can play a little bit more out of cover. You don't get as much damage, but it lets you take some more damage on. But it wasn't that hard, actually. I got it in a day. I settled with the rolls that I had, obviously. Okay, so notice where I placed my turret. The reason why you want your turret there, actually, this is the smarter way to play even in group, guys. But I placed my turret there because when they come out the door, they're gonna turn their back to you and look at the turret. See that? So that allows you to shoot them without them shooting you. Pretty handy. But notice I use my shock grenades too. I don't use shock bullets. I don't use the shock bullets on everybody. Only the sort of tankier guys. And the problem is some of them will just kind of rush just really fast by that turret. It's not that I don't have the DPS, it's mostly that they run so fast. It looks like they're on crack. They're crackheads. And if you didn't know, crackheads can run. So so the red guys are not a problem. I'm using my police M4. The reason why I'm using the police M4 is because I'm saving the shock rounds. I would be using the shotgun all the time because it has stagger power, but I'm saving my shock rounds for the purples and so for the veterans and the elite. So I shock him, see that? Gives my turrets a little bit more time. Then I switch weapons. So anyways, I actually think it's smarter to fight in here than it's actually smarter to fight inside that room, even in a full group. And the reason why is because they don't have their heals back here. It's just more efficient. It's also more fun to just watch them all die. I mean, when you have a full group back here, it's crazy. If you get overrun and you're a full group back here, your group is not running very good builds, I'll be honest with you. Because it's really easy to kill him here. I mean, I'm one man, right? I'm one man and I haven't gotten overrun yet. So think about that. That's why it can be frustrating even for me when I play in a group. I'm like, we're getting overrun? This is sad. But yeah, you should, in here, you should be able to control these guys. You need to have a little bit of burst damage, but I'm standing my ground for the most part. I'm not afraid of these guys. I know I can kill them. So for me, it's mostly about conserving my ammo. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm sitting here conserving my ammo. And it's not the ammo I'm trying to save. I'm not worried about running out of ammo. I'm trying to save my shock rounds for the big heavy Chunga and the rushers. There's 2 rushers that come too. So again, part of that's, you know, you got to have the experience to know what to expect. I'm expecting these 2 rushers, you know. So here they come right there. You see that rusher? Right there. So saving a shock round for her and her little homie, and then I'll finish them off. It's not now that my last target is the Chunga. And so you got to be careful because you could run out of drone juice here. So I'm making my turrets and drone have just enough life in them to get rid of this guy. So he doesn't come all the way in, so I'm gonna try to break his chain. I always go for the chain first, guys. It doesn't matter what build I'm running. I always go for the chain. That stops, their biggest threat on these guys is them overrunning you, right? Always go for the chain, then the backpack and chest. Chain, backpack, chest in that order. So I'm sort of just toying with him here because I know I could just kill him, but I'm going, again, I go for the chain. I shock him, and then I reload, switch weapons, put on my skills. But I mean, I could just be pounding him with my shotgun, but sort of just, I'm doing things in a progressive order. So, because this is a demonstration video. What up, Ultra Mega Man? Welcome. I'm glad you made it from Sydney. My Australian brother from another mother. Anyway, so that's that. So pretty easy, guys. I mean, it's almost a joke, right? I mean, just bodies everywhere. So here, this high velocity rounds that applies bleed. It basically gives you more damage. I think it's 25% amplified damage out of those rounds. So it might be 15, I'm not sure. But check those out. It's all a balancing act. Very true. Very true. Confidence, guys. So know what your build can do. You know, test this build out a little bit before you solo legendary like I did. And then you'll have confidence. So I'm playing here with confidence. I know what the build can do. I know when to fall back. I know when to stand my ground. And for here, I can basically stand the ground through the whole thing, even the 3 Chungas. Now, the big indicator here on whether you can finish it off behind this arcade, notice where my turret is, by the way. It's at a high position. It makes it harder for them to take out. So it'll last longer in higher positions. But the big indicator on whether you can hold it out in this room the entire time is if they drop the healing station. Now, the game cheats. So it's gonna fucking drop the healing station behind the little barriers back there where I couldn't see the guy. Otherwise I would have killed him. But he dropped it basically right as he spawned, which is bullshit in my opinion. And that's bullshit, flat out. That the game makes it as little bullshit things like that. It's like it doesn't even give you a chance to take the healing stations out. And those healing stations are ridiculously strong. And there's 2 of them layered on each other, right? So. Anyways, so fallback. So as soon as you drop the healing station, I went to my fallback position, which is this shielded box. So this metal box I'm hiding behind is shielded. What I mean by shielded is that their backpack hive, bleeder hive, cannot penetrate this box. So I can stay back here and not take any bleed as they push forward, if they push forward. So now I am going to be pushing forward on them. One, because I want to use my shotgun more, and I'm using the Police M4 in here right now because they're all playing at distance. But also, I am testing the limits of what I can do. But if you want to play it safe, just stay back here, finish them off. It's nice and cozy back here. You have nothing to worry about. Just be patient. Don't shoot all the time if they're shooting at you. Let your turrets do a little bit of that work, but you need to make sure you have NSYNC proc. So, but otherwise, they're pretty easy to kill. They're just big, slow targets. Chungas are my favorites. They're not anything I really worry about. My biggest threats in this game are always going to be the drone operators. They're always the drone operators. So you know. So with these guys, it's just really helpful to have aggro. Again, we have 39% protection from elite, so I am taking those stingers. And notice my life does not go down. I don't lose much life at all, and I get hit with those stingers. And then my armor regen puts me right back at 100%. So we got, I think, about 5% armor regen on this build. So, really helpful. So this is also a big checkpoint, I think, for a lot of builds and teams, both. So, because you got those 3 Chungas, but really it shouldn't be. It's really just a mental check. Do you know when to fall back and when to push, when to hold your ground? That's the difference. You shouldn't die here at all. You should not die here. The truth is, if you're dying at this phase, it's because you don't know your build well enough. You need to know what it can do. You need to know that whether you can hold your ground or not. Or sometimes it's like, it's also a team thing too. Like sometimes you know you can hold your ground and the team panics and they all run away and then they leave you alone. And you're like, holy shit, I'm alone. That's not the way this is supposed to play. And then you die because of that. Happens to me all the time. So that's what happens when you're playing random matchmake, is that the team will leave and they'll all run away and you're there alone holding the ground all by yourself. With this next room, actually, this is a smarter play too. I actually like playing it out here. You can't go in there, that's fine. But it's sort of annoying to go in there. I hate fighting these guys in their heals. I think it's just smarter to fight them outside of their heals, even if you can go in the room. So basically what I do is I throw my turret on top of those boxes. You can also put it to the left of that open door. Again, that turns them around and helps you shoot them in the back. But what I find is that some of these guys are tanky enough to, they'll back into the room and then get out of line of sight of your turret, and then you get into trouble. So up, when you throw it up high like that, if they do get beyond the turret can see them in both and in 360 mode basically. So either way, this goes really fast, guys. I mean, just think about how you normally fight this room, and look at there's the healing medic station guy right there. Now he's dead. I mean, in a matter of seconds, right? So I clear this whole room in probably like a minute. They come to me, you know, instead of standing in their stupid heals. And now they don't have any heals. So I think this is a smarter way to play. Just like the last room in the kitchen where we fought from the kitchen. Like, if you can talk your team into playing, killing these guys outside of their heals, that's the way to go. Again, it's not you're not being pussy. It's just smarter. It's more efficient. It's more fun too. I hate fighting these guys in their heals. It's just annoying. Those heals are just unfair. It's just not right how strong they are. And then they layer them on top of each other. It's like, come on. It's not just one, there's like three. Anyways. So here I fight from the entrance when I'm playing solo. When you're playing in group, you usually go upstairs. But I find even in group, we've been playing it down here as of late. I like it down here a little bit more. And that's sort of because there's a lot more distance between you and where the chungas spawn. So that means when your turrets are out and whatnot, that the chungas are taking a lot more damage on the way to you. When you're solo, it's for different reasons. When you're solo, it's because you don't want to get hit by those grenades. They can't get you in here. But also, it's sort of a kill box for those chungas. And so what I do is I lure the chungas into this room, and then I use my turret to take their aggro, and I turn their backs to me, and I just basically shoot them in the back until they die. So otherwise, be careful going out there. You can get hit by grenades. You got 5% armor regen, so it's not that big of a deal. Also, we got a little bit of explosion resistance, protection from elites, not to mention massive 45% armor on kill. So all that is good stuff for the build. Good stuff for you. Good survivability. But let me just fast forward a little bit to the chungas, because it's just more of them launching grenades at me and me killing them. But it does take a minute. Okay, here it comes. Okay. So here come the rushers. So first you'll get 2 rushers. Again, skill management. See my skills there? So I moved my skill. So I made sure I collapsed my skill and then moved it inside this room before that next wave came. That's really important, skill management. One is you want to make sure you're not on cooldown when you get those rushers, because they can't overwhelm you. Now this is how you take down these chungas. So he's going to be aggroed by that thing, and watch how easy. I mean, he's basically a big fat paperweight. So make sure you stay back here behind cover. And that was really easy. You take a little bit of damage, but it's not a big deal. Again, with this build, you welcome damage. Because your heals are so friggin' insane. Okay, so this one I play a little bit more aggressively. Just to, again, I'm testing the limits of the build. So I'm going to do a little dancing around him. But otherwise, you should just be patient if you're playing the solo. It's up to you, though. I have the confidence. I know what I can do. But I take a lot of his stingers right there. Actually, he was shooting at me. Let me rewind that. That's bullshit right there. And I didn't realize it was happening until I lost a little bit of too much of my life. This is bullshit, okay? This is this bullshit stuff about this game sometimes, and I love this game, so I'm not complaining. Well, I am complaining, but this is the stuff that irritates me. Let me, sorry, we're gonna watch a little bit of this twice. Okay, so this is the first Chunga. He's not a problem, we're gonna kill him. But in the second Chunga, what I want you to notice is that he's actually looking a different direction. But the damage I was taking was not his stingers. If it was the stingers, it would have taken maybe 15% of my life at best, okay? I'm actually taking his Gatling gun. That's what's shooting at me. But he's not even looking at me, so he's basically shooting sideways, okay? So he's gonna watch this. He's shooting sideways. This is bullshit. But anyways, you gotta look out for these types of little glitches. So he's shooting at that turret, okay? Look at that. He's not even looking at me. I'm taking bullets. Those are bullets, and of course his backpack. So anyways, that's bullshit. I just wanted to show you that. So that threw me off. He should be dead by now, but because of that, I end up having to do this little dance with him. So this is where I say you need to have the moves, you know, but I'm confident here. So I move back and forth. I move around him. I'm faster than him. This is why you don't want to use a shield. You need agility. You need speed. Look at my armor. It's all the way back up to the top, guys. Look at my armor. That's just the armor regen right there. And then armor on kill is insane, right? We have 45% armor on kill on top of that. So, anyways, so that's survivability. Everything that I say about survivability that I've ever said was all encompassed in that 30 seconds, right? Situational awareness, you gotta have the moves, and then the build, right? So all of that just kind of came down in that second. So from here, you know, we're just gonna finish off these fools. I'm gonna skip it just a little bit because it's not super exciting, but it's to watch. And so a little patient, those dogs go down pretty easy. And then from here, you know, I just finished off this last couple of guys. And then, okay, so we drop down into the garage, okay? And so if I play it from this room, you probably would too. But actually, I think the best place to put your turret, again, turret placement is really important here, is right here on this corner. It's for the rushers. So you're gonna get 2 rushers right off the bat. They're your biggest threat. From there, it's the grenaders. So here's the 2 rushers, and obviously can come at you first. So I make my way back into the room and let my turret and drone do most of the work. And then I'll start getting back out there. Again, you can just be patient, pick them off one at a time. But, you know, again, I'm testing the limits of this build, and I like to play aggressive. I think it pays off when you play a little bit aggressive. Part of that, to be able to do that, you need to have the confidence. You need to know that your drone and turrets are taking the aggro, and just be smart about your movements. You know, I don't know if you noticed, I took the long way around at him instead of running straight at him. That way, I didn't pull aggro away from my drone. You can do that, right? So they'll start shooting at you instead of your drone if you get too much of their attention. So otherwise, really easy. Hardly took any damage. Okay, the garage, the main garage. This can be really difficult, and it is really difficult. So I'm thinking about my strategy. Normally I throw my turret on that white car right there. I actually throw it on the trunk and it gets a pretty good view of the entire room, but I decided I want to be a stealth ninja and get in close. So here it's about knowing your spawns. That's really important, and then prioritizing your targets. So the most important targets at first are the drone operators. They're your biggest threats. All right, so we got to take those ladies out. They're my biggest priority. Accidentally climbed that, did not want to do that. But yeah, so I'm following her because I want to finish her off. She's dead. And so now I'm just going to kill her compadre here. So I think there's 4 drone operators. It might be 3, but then there's, could be 4. The tanks can be annoying, so if you get clear shots at them, you might as well just take them out. But either way, the drone operators are your priority targets. After the drone operators, you're going to have the healing station engineers. They're your next targets. But anyways, get rid of those drone operators first. They're always most important. You don't want them the whole time because they will just constantly launch drones at you. So otherwise, let your turret and drone take most of the aggro. So after the so you got the drone ladies, then you got the healing station engineers, and after that you have the grenadiers. So, and then you have all the grunts that come out with those people, but those are your target priorities. So drone operators, healing station techs, and then the grenadiers, in that order they come out. So you have 3 So I'm kind of still feeling out the room. So I'm moving forward, I'm falling back, moving forward, falling back. So watch this, I do get into trouble here, but this is the power of this build. This is a good example of the power of this build, okay? So these ladies, this is bullshit. The game, again, another part of the game, they make her really hard to kill and she shouldn't be. She's just standing there and I have more DPS than she does technically. Because I can put out more rounds than she can, but for some reason the controller, they do something funny with your aim assist to make her harder to shoot than she really is. Anyways, that aside, she wiped my armor. I was dead. My skills killed somebody and brought my armor all the way back to 100%. My skills killed her, actually. So that's the power of this build. You're always getting that armor on kill. You really are. Because your skills are strong. These are 6 skill tier skills, right? Base damage on that drone is like 93,000 base damage on the drone. That's before glass cannon. I'm sorry, before spotter, before in sync, before the 60 or 30 to 60 to whatever memento buffs that you're getting, right? So your skills get kills, that's for sure. And which is really cool because they're giving you to keep pushing, keep rolling. So anyways, they're throwing everything at me now, but I'm gonna let this room play out. I'm not gonna skip forward too much because I'm sort of letting them get into a particular position. So I'm playing a little patient here, and then I'm gonna turn up the heat on them. So, you know, so I'm just kind of letting them settle in, so to speak, because they're kind of moving back and forth a lot. And if I want to flank them and go after them, I'm sort of picking my opportunity to do that. Again, I'm not afraid to take damage because I know I'm going to either regen it back like I'm doing right now, or I'm going to get some armor on kill. Just try not to get too much explosive damage because those can get you in trouble. So fall back, push forward, fall back, push forward. Yeah, then you get this, and when you get them rushing on you, it's you almost prefer it because they're gonna get farther from their healing stations. It does make them easier to kill because they're not getting their heals. More importantly, he drops a trophy, and when I pick up that trophy, so that's what I'm going for. I'm going for that trophy. I just now put these on overcharge, right? My skills are now on that 30% little overcharge. It's got 30% more skill efficiency. So that guy died. So I took some damage. That guy died. I got my armor back, and then I got another memento trophy, which is important. So now I'm getting memento trophies scattered about. So that's going to allow me to push, and you'll see that happen in just a minute. I'll start to push on these guys, and what gives me the confidence to do that is I got these memento trophies. So I'm supercharging everything. Supercharge. Okay, here's part of the experience. This rusher, or whatever it is starting to push on me. No, this is a drone operator, but I hold my ground and I knew I could take it. You see that? And look at my armor. She wiped it. She broke my armor and it came right back. Partly because I killed her. And then I got that, I got 35% armor on kill on that one because I was using my assault rifle. If I had my shotgun, I would have got 45%. Xander says heroic, then run up, legendary, always stay in the box. Yeah, that's one way to do it. I mean, if you play patient and smart like that, it can really pay off for you. You're right. It's about finding your really good cover position and hunkering down. If you're using something like Negotiator's Dilemma or whatever, that's basically how that build works. You just try to find really good cover and hold your ground. But this one I'm playing aggressive. Look at that. I'm fighting them in his heels now. I've thinned out the herder a little bit, so it's a little bit easier. I don't have as many enemies to face shooting me in the back. But so now we're on our second set of priorities, which are these healing station guys. So I'm hunting them down. I'm on the hunt for the healing station guys because I want to get as many of them dead before the grenaders start really getting hot and heavy. So I push forward, fall back. Basically, I'm scanning the horizon to see where my targets are at. Because there should be some grenaders out. They come out right behind the healing station guys. So here comes a grenade. Okay, so now I know where my grenader is. He's back left. So I'm going to go after him. So this is where I start getting aggressive. If you just hang back, they're just gonna keep launching those grenades at you all day long. So I'm gonna hunt him down. So I know I have those memento trophies. See, I look out of the corner of my eye and I go memento trophies. Okay, so that gives me confidence to push. Look at, I see all these enemies, but I know I have the power to take them down, basically. So I just gotta play it smart, move. So this is a pretty scary little situation. I mean, look at my armor right there. It goes all the way down. So fall back. Let's get a kill. Let's get our armor back. Really dangerous, but don't worry, we come out strong. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Gotta have the moves. Gotta have the moves. Boom. Look at the armor. Back to 100. You see that? Back to 100. Now we got the advantage. Advantage Tuxedo. That's a big deal right there, actually. We went from dead to 100 and 0 flat, basically. This thing, it really does heal as fast as it kills, so. Anyway, so we do a little dancing, ducking and dodging to get them to miss their grenades, and then I'm right back at them trying to get rid of these grenadiers because they will be the end of me. And we could do it. There we go, got him. So now I got more trophies, more life too. So again, I'm staying on the shit. I do get hit by a grenade or two from time to time, but I'm not that worried about it. I know I can get the kill. So I'm staying on him, which is what's important, and managing my skills at the same time. So I just lost my drone, but I got my turret back up. So now I'm scanning to see where my other targets are in relation to me, because I know they're gonna be trying to shoot me in the back. So my turret's taking out that healing station, so it's gonna make that grenadier easier to kill. And now I'm back on him. Get him out of cover. Get him to miss a couple of bullets. And down he goes. So elite grenadier down. So now we just got one elite and one veteran grenadier. So I'm gonna go for the grenadier first because he's the bigger of the threat, the larger threat, and he's gonna go down nice and easy. My drone basically did all the work. I just made sure my instinct was procced through that. And then my last target. There we go, room clear. So that is a tough room, I'm not gonna lie, but it's mostly just management, managing your priorities, knowing when to push forward and fall back. There were a couple of close calls there, but wasn't the end of the world. So, but you do have a good chance to go down there and have to restart. But the deal is, you know, if you just cower in the office, they're just gonna keep sending drones at you. So rethink that strategy. So the drones can go in the office and it'll grenade the door so you can't even get out. You have to get out of that room. I mean, if you just rely on your turrets, you can literally spend an hour in that room just trying to get your turret to do all the work. So we do win this room. It's not a big deal, but I do let it get out of, it does kind of get out of control. But the thing that you need to pay attention to most, again, is turret management. So I try to pick up my turret often so that it doesn't go on a permanent cool without skills in this room. The reason why is because it's such a small little area, and then they flank you and they come in from the left office and straight ahead and right. You can't. It sucks to die here. This is the last room basically before the boss, right? And then when you fight the boss, you can restart over and over again. But if you die here, it's all for nothing, right? So do not die here, and you can. So, you know, play it smart. And for me, the smartest way to play it is to make sure you do not go without your skills. Again, so skill management. So see, notice I pick up my skill right there. I do not want a long cooldown on this thing happening. So by doing that, it reset the cooldown. It only was only a 2-second cooldown. I'm replacing it up here. I'm thinking about the Chungas. That's why I put it up there. So when the Chungas spawn, as soon as I kill these dogs, then that turret's in a good place. So there's 3 waves. You got the dogs up first, then you got a mini wave of rushers that will come out at you. They're not too difficult. The problem is if you don't kill them fast enough, they're still going to be out there when the Chungas arrive. So that's the challenge with those guys. And you don't, it's annoying when they're out there, when the Chungas are alive, because they start flanking you while the Chungas are, are slowly flanking you. So here come the rushers. And so this is where I lose control of the room a little bit, because I was in a bad position when they started. And probably I think that I put my turret up in that position too soon. That's probably the biggest mistake. You know how I threw my turret up on that high position? So notice they're all in this back room. They're hiding from that turret. So luckily I fight it out. My armor's on top because of that, but they're all running for my turret. That's why they're coming back here. You notice that? Look at these guys. They're hiding from my turret, which could be good or bad depending on how you look at it, but it's sort of bad because I am now don't have that turret fighting for me. I mean, it's out there killing things. I just got all my armor back because of it. But a couple of close calls, but I'd stay strong. I pushed through with the DPS. That's sort of what saves me here. There's a couple of times where the guys are staring at me with their guns and I'm staggering them with the shotgun. Okay, here are the Chungas. They actually don't become that big of a deal, but I do have a NPC alive, and that's the guy that's bothering me, that red guy. Because I know he's faster and he can flank me, and then he'll take my attention, and then the Chungas will kill me because of that. So I'm moving closer to my turret because I can see that they're running away from my turret, and I don't want to be defenseless because my drone went down. So, okay, so I forget that my drone's down, so I don't pull it out right away, but I do here in a second. There it is. Okay, there's some explosives right there, so I want to watch those explosives. I'm aware of those. Again, that's situational awareness. You don't want those explosives being next to you when you try to kill that Chunga, because he'll shoot it and blow you up. So, yeah, that armor is super. Hey, Sam, that armor is super. It is really satisfying to see it go up. It's amazing how many times I'm almost dead and it's back to 100% and lickety split. So you see that? I mean, I've just face tanked that Chunga basically because I knew the DPS would win. I knew the DPS would win off that shotgun. So, and when you switch to the police M4, you'll also do a pretty good job because it's got health damage and Chungas take health damage. Okay, so here's the end boss scene. Nothing too magical. Again, it's priority of targets and skill management. So just so you know, it took me, I think, 3 tries to kill the boss. It wasn't the boss that killed me. It was stupid user errors. Actually, the first one was a perfect run, and I died at by the last NPC with the boss. It was really annoying. So that's why you see this ammo and stuff already out here, because this is actually my 3rd run. The 2nd run was basically the same thing. I almost had it done. I was down to the boss, and then I died. It was just really frustrating. So that's the funny thing of this legendary run. I spent the most time on the boss, and the truth is the boss is the easiest part. This part's really easy. So that's why it's sort of frustrating when people say, oh, you can't do the whole legendary by yourself and you never show the boss scene. But the boss is the easiest part of this legendary. He's fat, he's slow. I kill him, it doesn't matter what build I have, I kill him the same way. The results are the same. I break his chain, I riot foam him, I break his backpack, I break his chain, riot foam him, I shoot him in the head, and then he's dead. But the rest of this is actually pretty easy, really easy with this build. I'm actually having fun in this room because you got a lot of cover, and so there's a lot of angles that you can take to run and gun. So I'm really having a good time with that. But we cleared that first wave pretty quickly. Your priority targets are going to be the Grenadiers and then the snipers at first. So those are our first targets, especially the Grenadiers, especially the elite Grenadier. He's our biggest threat. So, but I got a little bit of explosive resistance on this build, and it actually pays off because on legendary. So, speaking of Grenadiers, he ran. He's usually the first guy I kill, but in this attempt, I think he had escaped. So, obviously he had escaped. In the next wave that's about to drop, you want to take out the drone operators first. Well, you got rushers and drone operators. So first the rushers and then the drone operators. So the rushers are going to come down on these ropes. So start shooting on them from the top. You can shoot on them way up there, by the way. And so I tag them. I get them tagged mostly with the linked laser pointer, so they're getting that amp damage on them. So, and then once they're down, you want to take down your drone operators. Drone operators hide, of course, so they always become a pain. Do take damage, get flanked here, never worried. Okay to face tank. Happy to face tank. Happy to face tank you. And again, if you play good, you got cover, dip, dodge, duck, and roll. You don't need a shield. You do not need a shield. Yes, this is a shotgun build, but you do not need a shield. Your shield are your tech, so the drones and your turrets are your shield. They make you invisible. So they're actually better than a shield because you're invisible. A hard shield takes aggro, right? A hard shield attracts bullets, where your drones and turrets attract bullets too, but they're not attached to your fucking arm. So sort of a good thing that they attract bullets for you, right? So your shield can't make you invisible, but your tech can. So these are better shields, and that's why I say no shields. The only time I like running a shield really is when I'm running firewall and I want that additional damage to targets that are standing in front of me. I really like that. So anyways, so I appreciate you guys that did show up. I'll kind of let this play out until we get to the boss, and then I'll talk about my strategy with the boss there. But otherwise, this is just, a hit and move. As these guys drop, it's really important. I try to prevent them from dropping their heal station. When you're running solo, inevitably one guy does drop his heal station, but not that big of a deal. And then from there, it's the medics. Just kill the medics as fast as you can, because they'll keep getting people up otherwise. You don't want a medic alive when the boss drops. That's the biggest error you can make, is having a medic alive when a boss drops. Healing stations is one thing, medics is a whole nother, because you'll end up fighting everybody all over again. Because that boss will get you hiding, right? And as you're hiding, that medic is a busy little bee. So I'm moving to the other side of the room because the boss is coming and I don't want to get hit by his pulse. Again, we have high 5% armor regen. Look at this part. Look at this part. I'm dead. I'm dead. Watch. 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 I'm dead. Look at my life. The armor regen working, right? And then let's just get our life back all the way to 100%. See that? So, sneaky bastard is right. And so I'm confident here. I know I have the DPS. He's in heals. I know I can kill him in heals. I mean, he's a non-elite, but either way, they're difficult and legendary. So, so I could shoot that healing station, but I'd rather just go for the guy that's operating it. But Anthony DeMar, I joined late. It's all good, brother. I just appreciate your support, man. This one's worth a watch, though, if you're interested in solo and legendary with this build, because I do give you the know-how. We are on the boss phase right now. The boss just dropped, so I'm finishing off these NPCs real quick, and then I'm gonna switch to kill boss mode, which is a special button you press. I don't know if you guys knew about that button, but it might only be on the new Xbox, but there is a kill boss mode button. It's just below the large circular Xbox button in the middle of your controller. It says KB on it. You press that button and your character automatically goes into kill boss mode. What's up, Toast the Knowing? Brother man? Welcome, welcome. Where are you from, Toast? What part of the world are you chiming in from? So anyways, yeah, really good build, guys. So it does remind me, this build reminds me a lot of Game Over. I actually think I might like it better than the Game Over build. That's because the heals are even faster and I have, I think, even more confidence. So I just took the pulse. Notice it only took half my life. So that's because this build has 39% protection from elite. So I'm basically 40% immune to his pulse. And then on top of that, we have armor regen, so it sort of brings it back a little bit, almost instantly. Look, we're at 100%. I didn't get a kill, so I lost half my life to his pulse, and then we healed up in seconds. So we got 5% armor regen, so we're back to full in no time. So know that you can aggro him. So now I'm switching my skills, all right? So I'm going for the Burster Demolisher. I'm sorry, Firefly, the Demolisher Firefly. I'm running in sync, so it's gonna make it even stronger, but that's a 6 skill tier Demolisher with 30% skill efficiency. So by throwing that and then hitting him real quick with a bullet, right, I'm breaking his chain. Now, I just want to slow him down for a second so I can change my other skill. On the other skill, I'm gonna use Riot Foam. This way, we can basically keep him in this endless cycle of not being able to fix his chain. So I'm gonna break his chain, and then I'm gonna riot foam him, and then I'm gonna shoot his backpack, and then he's gonna try to fix his chain. The riot foam isn't intended to hold him. It's not. All we're doing is disrupting his animation. That's all we're doing. Is it's an animation disruption. That's all we're doing. It's like a stagger, basically. You can also stagger with the Scorpio shotgun. I should switch to that. I just didn't want to do it because I'm showcasing the build, but switching to the Scorpio shotgun also staggers him because with the electrocution and disorientation. So that'll keep him from fixing his chain. It's also important at this time that you do refill on ammo because you spend a lot of ammo trying to bust that backpack, and it sucks to run out of ammo when you have him in that animation. So, from here, it's managing your cooldowns. All right, so now I'm gonna draw him back into the open. Check my gear out too. What's going on? All nice and comfy. So, anyways, sorry about that. Just had to take care of some business. I just can't help it. I'm anal retentive. Anyway, so all I'm doing is aggroing him here. I want to get him into the open. It's just easier to do this whole animation thing when he's in the open. So, but yeah, I really like this build, guys. It's a really good build. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun running it. Probably gonna be using it a lot. I use it in group. I got a lot of group footage. Just the video. I didn't want to make that build video really long. So, anyways, so you notice that he tried to fix his gun right as he. Wait till the very last second, okay? There's a couple of phases. So I get a little rambunctious and I shoot it too quickly. But if you want to make the most of your cooldowns, you want to wait to shoot at the very last second. So I'm sort of not doing that as best as I should. I should be waiting a little bit longer. I should be slower. So there's two parts. When he's on the ground, he pulls the chain in and then he latches the chain, okay? So there's two parts on there. You want to wait until he tries to latch it and then foam him. By doing that, you buy yourself an extra second, okay, off your cooldown. That extra second adds up in the end so that you'll have an extra round on him. So, but look, I already got him smoking. I'm a one-man army here, guys. One man. I mean, it takes whole teams to do this, right? And with this build, you'll be able to do it all by yourself. There's no magic here, you know? It's the same shit. That's why it's sort of like, that's why I don't always show this, by the way. It doesn't matter what build I'm running. Even if it's not a skill build, same thing. It's just gonna take longer if you're not running skill tiers because you're not gonna have as much ammo, but it will be the same thing. You can also break his chain with your gun. You don't have to use the Demolish or Firefly. You can just shoot at it and it'll break it. Again, it just takes more time. So, oops, I got myself there. But yeah, so that's why I like these hybrid builds because I can just swap the skills and we got him under control. Again, that riot foam it's nothing about the stickiness. We don't care about the stickiness. All we're doing is disrupting him, right? So I'm out of shots. I realized that, so I pull out my Demolisher. I made sure In Sync was procced, and we broke his chain again. You see that? So now I'm gonna be really focusing on breaking that backpack. I'm trying to buy a little bit of time for my my sticky riot foam ammo to charge up. I should be patient and just kind of let it charge up all the way and then finish them all off in one session, but my patience runs dry sometimes. There you go, backpack broken. That's it. That's it, didn't take that long at all. So now, when you break his backpack, he immediately fixes his chain somehow. It's all magic, apparently. But so now, what I'm doing is I'm letting my ammo charge up, but I am gonna start picking away at his head. And so I'm gonna break his chain as much as I can using the Demolish Firefly and then pull in from to his head. When you throw that out though, it is important that you start making your run over to him as soon as you throw it out because you don't want to waste that time where you could be shooting on his head. So get out there as fast as you can. Anyways, this is gonna play out. That's basically how it works. So then from here, we just, you know, managing the skills, cooldowns, and then focusing on his head. Again, once you bust his backpack, it's all headshots. He only takes headshot damage. So, and he's got a tiny little beady head. But yeah, so I hope you guys use this build, man. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Let's see. So yeah, like I was saying, I did use it in group. I ran it in a couple of group plays in this mission. as well as what was it called? Roosevelt Island. Yeah, I did a lot of Roosevelt Island. Yeah, it went smooth. It was just the same in group play. We played nice and aggressive with it. Of course, you are competing for your memento trophies, so there's that. But I was looking to run it a couple of different ways. I was just, you know, like without, I like to give you guys an option without memento. I just wasn't seeing it for this build, you know, because the whole point of getting out of cover, that's why do you get out of cover, right? What's the point of getting out of cover? It's to grab those memento trophies. That's the only, I mean, besides it's fun, you know, it's sort of silly if you don't have a reason to do it, right? Like, why take the risk if you don't have the reason? I mean, unless you're a speedrunner. If you're a speedrunner, then yeah, you want to get out of cover. Unless you're running the Negotiator's Dilemma, that's the only build where you don't really have to get out of cover. But if you're trying to speedrun, then yeah, you want to get out of cover. But otherwise, why? And now and my reason why, really, besides it's fun, is because you want those memento trophies. But picking up those memento trophies, it makes your build the strongest build out there. There's nothing stronger. A build that can take advantage of memento trophies is the build. But yeah, Ubisoft magic is better than Disney magic. I second that, Sam. Good call. Anyways, guys, this is about to end, and so I'm gonna leave it here. I appreciate you guys listening to me walk you through this. That was a lot of talking, but that's all I got for you today. So hit me up if you got any more questions, all right? Like if you got any questions, drop them in the comment section of the build video, or continue to drop them in this feed. I'll get to them as soon as I can. Definitely hit the like in this video. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys. I will see you on the other side. I think our next time we connect will probably be Saturday night for the Saturday night live stream, which will include the larger community. All right, until then, peace out, Banditos.